In today's story, something that never seems to happen comes to pass. Remember when I said that, no one was going to get struck by lightning or anything? I was wrong.
Funny.
Succumb to your evil half, all my fellow future outlaws, as this is Card Game vs. Humanity, and I am the NAKK-G. Here with a recap of the final part of this duel that doesn't even have a turn taken in it. I mean, you gotta try real hard to pull that off. If you enjoyed, don't forget that sub, that bell, that like, hit up the Patreon if you want to support me. And leave a comment telling me if you're as full as much rage as I am that a fifth of this episode is just flashbacks from shit we saw last episode. At least show me you're trying. But trying would be too much to ask for on this show, as Odeon begs Merrick not to have to summon Rob. And it's too dangerous, and I'm literally about to win in the middle of this battle phase and can't take it back, so don't ask me to do it. Merrick dangles the family carrot in front of his face again, seeing all that's needed to convince him and then giving us a flashback of shit we just saw last episode. He raises his giant golden rod directly towards Joey and says, get ready to face a power that you've never seen before. Shooting the mystical beast that he was already about to win with to summoning the almighty creature in the middle of the battle phase, because apparently he can just do that.
Be very careful, Joey!
Ah yes, Joey, be very careful. You're about to face up against a literal god of this universe, and you have nothing to defend yourself with, but just remember to always be very careful. Great sound advice from best friend Yugioh, ladies and gentlemen. If that's not the face of a young man seeing boobies for the first time in his life, I don't know what is. Odeon really takes on the form of Merrick, monologuing for a few good minutes as Rod just kind of sits there and wiggles around for a bit, claiming it'll retain the full attack value of the mystical beast, resulting in the same game state as before. Merrick says Odeon made his family proud today, but suddenly all the Millennium items begin to flash at once, receiving a signal from the gods that someone around here is a big fatty fat faker. They don't like people making copies of what's essentially a copy from Pegasus and some paint in the first place. They know that shit can get weird quick. Odeon commands the big faker to attack, but it kind of just sits there and starts dissolving slowly, freaking out Merrick as to what could be going on before all of a sudden a giant lightning storm appears.
Either this is the best Duel Monsters hologram I've ever seen, or we better take cover!
I mean, Slifer's lightning effects were so powerful it was destroying chunks of the ground, so I mean, it's pretty on par with everything we've seen so far. Odeon hangs his head in shame, lamenting on how unworthy he seems to be, both to be a part of Merrick's family and to be an actual main character. Man, they really just do kind of gloss over how much of a tragic character he is in this show, don't they? He kind of gets screwed a lot. Because this is a kid's show and life is fair, Odeon gets struck in the motherfucking head by a bolt of lightning, shattering the Millennium Rod and he had in his hand into chunks of solid gold. Yugi notices a severe lack of dead souls exiting the rod as it breaks, so he knows that this one must have been a fake. Eric goes into a dreamscape, seeing his brother in arms fall down slower than anyone in history, hitting his face on the floor in front of our hero Joey, who naturally tries to go over to help.
Okay?
Don't move!
Wow, Yugi, all that top-notch advice you're just handing out today. I mean, I'm sure he's fine, right?
He got struck by lightning! He's definitely dead!
Despite the fact that both players are knocking on death's door, Kristen's attempt to scale the dueling arena is halted by the law of the card game still in effect, as both players have 200 life points left over. Kaiba then uses this opportunity to start practicing his speeches to the public for future natural disasters caused by his company.
This lightning storm is a freak act of nature and nothing more.
Because it's all he knows, Roland asks if he should DQ both combatants. Surprisingly, Kaiba is feeling generous, just saying, nah, they're just tired, give it 5 minutes or so. And if one of them stands up, then they win, because that's what card games are all about, seeing who can recover from a lightning bolt to the head. Everyone cheers on Joey except for Merrick right now, who seems to be suffering from a severe migraine. Either that or he just got done creating a new TikTok account and just wasn't ready for what he was about to see. Because we have 5 minutes left to fill, Shishu takes this time to flash back to shit we saw last episode, claiming that the evil in Merrick may grow stronger, and apparently I knew about this the entire time, but I just never did anything about it in the last 10 years or so. Because this is the WWE wrestling match where both men are down for the 5-minute count. Odeon begins to stir and leave the crowd in a wave of suspense.
The winner is...
Well, that didn't last long. Let's head back to our hero Joey, who seems to be daydreaming right now. Surrounded by his friends in their school uniforms, you know something must be fucked up, because when's the last time any of us were at school together? Although right now everyone seems to be harping on Joey to get his butt in gear. Luckily he has the worst looking fanny pack ever with his cards inside, dumping all his cards out onto the desk and floor in a level of care that my younger self may know a thing or two about. Everyone helps him put a deck together, even Maya and Serenity, who are here for some reason.
You're dreaming, remember? And dreams don't have to make sense, so just be glad you're not skiing in your underwear.
I do like how often that they point out it's a dream and it doesn't have to make sense. Skiing in your underwear, though? And in his dream, Tristan puts Joey in a headlock, taking him aside to tell him something super important. At this note right here that was supposed to have a list of all his best cards, it's completely blank. Apparently, you don't have any good cards.
It's almost as nuts as that nightmare I had about the monkey and that bowl of vanilla pudding.
Joey, I am praying that is not a euphemism. This dream sequence that's definitely taking longer than 2 minutes gives Joey the warm and fuzzy feelings he needs to push through a lightning strike to the head. Telling everyone that he can't seem to get up right now and needs some help, but hey, I have like $2.8 million left over, so first person to reach their hand out and help me gets $10K. Being pulled out of the darkness and back into, well, the darkness because it's still nighttime. Joey wins the duel just like the voices in his head said he would. I'd be happier for him, but somehow he forgets who Odeon is immediately and then flashbacks to about 6 minutes ago in the episode. I have my limits.
Looks like Wheeler's dumb luck saved him again. And I emphasize dumb.
You know your hatred runs deep when you genuinely have to reiterate your own emphasis to yourself just to get the point across. His hatred aside, though, he wonders what happened to Raw and why it didn't attack. His equipment is problem-free. I don't know about that. There's nothing wrong with it at all. I don't know about that. That card must have been a fake. That's the only explanation that makes sense because I'm not asking why it recognized it at all in the first place. So he holds on to Odeon in a sweet embrace, saying, that was a nice duel, bro, but who the fuck are you? Luckily, Odeon's in a delirious state and basically just spills the beans, saying, I serve that sexually ambiguous guy over there. At least this finally causes them to notice the Millennium Rod in his hand after 4 frickin' episodes now.
Namu, he was a disguise to get me closer to Yugi.
Huh. So all that just to get close to the Yugi, huh? Someone better pick up that phone. Cause I fucking called it! Eric begins monologuing so heavily that Odeon finally passes out, releasing the grip he had on his little buddy's darker side. Suddenly going SSJ2 and transforming before their very eyes. Eric's more sinister side is revealed with hair that even rivals Yugi's levels of what the hell, how do you keep it up like that? Unfortunately, this is the true version of Merrick, so that still means he loves to monologue about the things you've come to love to hate to love to hate. Ending the episode with some words about the puzzle, I'll be the true pharaoh, you'll be in darkness, and well, it's honestly pretty much the same. Well, that's it for this episode. I want to thank you all for watching, and of course, a shout out to all my patrons. If you saw, like yesterday, your boy got some serious boxes coming in for some breaks on the channel. You know we're gonna pull a go, so don't you dare miss out. This has been the man for both with all the girth, ladies and gentlemen. 11 more episodes. Then we're at 100. Someone call Simo. I mean, I'll try. Later. Tributing the mystical beast that was out. Tributing Odeon's, Kaiba then uses this opportunity to start practicing